Welcome back to the podcast. We are getting closer and closer to the Super Bowl and sadly the ending of the 2023 to 2024 NFL season. So if you notice, we didn't have a podcast episode last week for the divisional round. That is because, we're really only talking about the NFL right now because not a lot is going on. So, and obviously there's not really much to talk about in the NFL besides a couple coach signings. So I thought, we'll skip next week and we'll recap it all this weekend. Our predictions were already kind of killed, so I don't even know the record or anything that's going on with that.
Pretty sure I won.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't
think there's any question.
I mean, it was pretty
I mean,
close.
if you want to keep doubt in your mind, that's fine. But
well, I mean, it was pretty close for a while, and then I think I pulled away and won.
Lies. But what do you mean nothing's going on? Ohio State's just dominating the transfer portal right now.
Well, I mean, we could start there. Let's go to college football actually. So the talk of college football right now is that number one, Jim Harbaugh leaves. He goes to Los Angeles, San Diego.
Would this make you more of a Justin Herbert fan?
100%.
Wow.
My hate is already for Max, and just because he has one of my least favorite head coaches at the helm, teaching him everything he knows, I hate him just a little bit more. So, Herbert, you're not off the list just yet.
Jim Harbaugh, quarterback whisperer. Justin Herbert may win the MVP next year for the San Diego Chargers.
Listen, I don't think he'll be bad. I just don't think I just don't like him. Anyway, Ohio State should not be bad as they are bringing in all this talent, the superstars of the SEC, the superstars of the Big Ten. Just everyone is coming to Ohio State to try and win. Everyone from most of the team is returning. I mean, my whole thing is if Ohio State doesn't win a national championship next year, they won't. It's as simple as that. I don't think they will.
I'm just glad they're taking advantage of their power, their strength, how big they are, how big their alumni base is, how much money they have. Finally, where's this been for the last 3 or 4 years?
I don't know.
They could have won multiple titles, but they chose to be lackadaisical. We'll call lackadaisical.
And I think that Ryan Day knows now that his job is on the line this year. If he does not have a good year this year, which it's sad to say because he's only lost 8 games or whatever in his career, which is sad to say. But with how big Ohio State is, I think he'll get fired. I don't think he deserves to be. I think he's a great head coach. Obviously people make mistakes sometimes, but I think that the option would be that they fire him. So he knows that his job is possibly on the line, so he's going all in.
They're going to throttle Michigan. He'll be fine. Everyone will be happy.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing people want. Obviously a national championship, but just to beat their rivals.
All right, let's talk about the NFL.
So let's go.
I'm broke now because of the NFL.
Yeah, let's go into the wild card round. So the first game on the slate was Texans and Browns, and wow.
Did not see that coming.
What a kid. I maybe saw the Texans winning, but not just killing the Browns. Joe Flacco was not the comeback player of the year MVP candidate person that we saw in the regular season. I mean, the guy, he was bad.
Joe Flacco had his Joe Flacco game.
CJ Stroud was amazing.
The Browns defense was awful.
I mean, and the Browns defense, who was the best defense in the NFL in the regular season, just lost it, letting up 45 points.
I'm not shocked that they lost. I thought they would win. Predicted them to win. I'm not shocked they lost, but to your point, the score and the way it happened, that defense was awful. They couldn't stop anything Houston was trying to do. Congrats, CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud was his first playoff game, and obviously we know the outcome of that next game. But let's go over to Dolphins and Chiefs. I saw this coming from a mile away. I knew the Chiefs were going to win this game. I was very disappointed with the play calling. I thought, 3rd and 15. Why are the Dolphins calling screenplays? Why is Mike McDaniel calling screenplays? So here's the thing. I think the Miami Dolphins Super Bowl window, if it was even open at one point, has closed or is about to be closed. I think next year you have to go all in, and if you don't, you're not winning the Super Bowl. You're gonna have to pay your guys soon. Christian Wilkins in the offseason already wants a big contract. Tua's gonna want a big contract, which I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he's that good. You got Ramsey, Holland, all these guys. Tyreek Hill might retire soon. Waddle's going to want money. The Super Bowl window is closing, and I think the Dolphins are in trouble if they don't do something soon.
I hate to tell you, the Super Bowl window is really never open. Never.
Well, that's why I said it was open in the first place. But, yeah, no.
But it was so cold out. It was so cold.
Oh, that's not an excuse.
Hey, do you think Tyreek Hill thought he was still playing for the Kansas City Chiefs? By the way, did you know Tyreek Hill one time played for the Kansas City Chiefs?
I didn't know that.
Never heard that one?
Yeah, no. I mean, no, I really didn't know that. But the best part of that game was Tyreek Hill's touchdown. And that
Lies.
did nothing.
Lies. Best part was Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. It was. But
She holds that team together. She's the glue.
Oh, really?
She's the glue.
All right, so Packers, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Come on, guys.
Cowboys.
All right, the Packers win 48-32. I like to remind people that, it was a situation similar to the Browns. Your offense was pretty good all year. It was probably top 10. Your defense was top 5 easily, maybe even top 3. You let up 48 points on you. Dak Prescott threw, 2 or 3 interceptions? What?
Dak Prescott gonna Dak Prescott in the playoffs.
But what confuses me the most is I actually don't know if it's coaching issue or not. Mike McCarthy is not a good coach.
He's awful.
But Jerry Jones is being not a smart guy and is letting him come back for the next season.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy should have been fired right after the game, and Bill Belichick should be the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys right now. But Jerry Jones is an idiot, so he's going to bring Mike McCarthy back next year it's going to be Groundhog's Day. It's going to be the same thing we've seen the last 2 decades. They're going to go 12 and 5 in the regular season,
and then they'll lose in the divisional or
absolutely.
Wildcard.
And then Dak will put up huge numbers and to try and justify his $50 million contract, and then they'll flame out in the playoffs. That's just what the Cowboys do.
I don't know. If I was a Cowboys fan, I would not be a Cowboys fan anymore. Anyway, Rams versus Lions. This was definitely the most anticipated game of the wild card, if not, Dolphins Chiefs.
Dan Campbell, baby.
Wow.
Campbell.
What a game. Stafford and the Rams really put up a fight. Can we talk about Puka Nacua? That guy is just immaculate. He's so good. And I think he'll be really good for years to come. But he put everything out there. A record
better than
setting.
Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp sucked that game. He was awful. But Puka Nacua put up...
How quickly we change our tune on players.
I know. It's wild. But Puka Nacua put up had a record-setting game. But, the Lions just won. It's as simple as that. I don't know. The controversial part of that game was definitely at the end with the call to punt it on 4th down. I believe it was, 4th and 10, and they decided to punt. The Rams did, and then they never got the ball back. I guess you would have trusted your defense, but the defense was the worst part of your team. So I don't know. I would have put it into your offense's hands and at least had a shot. But now the Lions come out and win, and the Rams sadly fall. But the Lions move on.
Why sadly?
I don't know. I like Stafford. I think that guy, he's good. He's good. And
fair enough.
yeah,
But you don't like Justin Herbert.
No, Herbert sucks.
And you don't like Derek Carr.
No. Well, Derek Carr actually sucks. Wow. Herbert, it's an act. I'll admit that now. It's an act that he sucks.
Breaking you down.
But Derek Carr actually sucks.
Breaking you down. On the Justin Herbert love. I'll get you on the train.
Do you know what we can't break down?
Get you on the train.
Do you know what we can't break down? how Mike Tomlin still continues to have winning seasons, but then he'll lose in the playoffs. I don't get it.
Oh, his quarterback is Mason Rudolph.
Well, I'm not. No. I'm not saying it's fault. It was a very successful season. Not really. I mean, you did nothing because it was a dumpster fire, but you somehow made the playoffs. I think it's very impressive. Mike Tomlin, I think now with the retiring of Bill Belichick, well, possible retiring, because I don't know if there's a team that he can join anymore. The Seahawks are open and the Commanders are open.
Someone will give him a job.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think if Bill Belichick does not come back, I think Mike Tomlin's easily the best head coach in the NFL, and just the fact that he tried that, they went 10-7, made the playoffs.
It was a good season for them.
It was a really good season.
They just ran into a buzzsaw of Buffalo, man. Those guys are.
Yeah, Buffalo is good, but I don't know if they're that good because
the Eagles get.
I told you.
Throttled.
I told you. You said
You
said no way, and I said the Buccaneers will win this game. And you said no, you're crazy.
It's Baker stinking Mayfield.
Apparently, Baker Mayfield is better than Jalen Hurts.
Baker Mayfield carved up the Philadelphia Eagles, whose defense is supposed to be legit. Hasn't been the last 10 games of the season, but it's supposed to be. Baker stinking Mayfield.
Okay.
337 and 3 touchdowns. It's just gross.
But also,
gross.
The Eagles, they scored 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown. That's it. They scored 1.
They were a hot mess the second half of the year. I don't know what happened there.
I told you they were gonna lose. It's just there's probably a lot of issues now.
That game probably surprised me the most out of all of them. The way they got just beat up by Baker stinking Mayfield.
I don't know. It's a weird situation in Philadelphia. I'm kind of intrigued to see what's gonna happen, but
they're gonna give Jalen Hurts his big contract.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird in Philly. If I was a Philly fan, I would be kind of on edge right now.
This is why the NFL is great, though. From one year to the next, it just ebbs and flows. You go from winning the Super Bowl to getting blown out in the playoffs, and now everyone's worried about you. And maybe rightfully so. They could be on the downside. So who knows?
All right, let's head over to the divisional last week's games. Texans and Ravens. Lamar Jackson officially has his second playoff win under his belt. CJ Stroud goes down. You can't even blame the guy. He's a rookie. Texans fans, if you're mad, I don't know how. Because this was such a successful season. You weren't supposed to win 3 games. Everyone was saying you're going under 500. You're going to suck. No, you made the playoffs. You had a great year. And you lose to probably the eventual possible Super Bowl winner. So I don't, it's not a sad season at all.
No one's sad in Houston. They overachieved. They shocked they made the playoffs. Shocked they won a playoff game. Baltimore's just better, man.
And now, better. You even looking at that game, you can't blame Stroud. He didn't really make mistakes.
They had no prayer.
They had their offensive line was they couldn't do much. But so the Ravens are going to the AFC Championship, and now the divisional Packers and 49ers. Wow, the Packers almost won this game, and I honestly think the Packers should have won this game. There was a call on 4th down. I thought it was 4th and 1. They got it. I think they got it, but the refs called it short. They didn't review it, and eventually, the 49ers would
the refs were bad in that game.
The refs were really bad in that game, and I think that's honestly what helped the 49ers.
I thought for a while the Packers were going to win. Brock Purdy looked awful.
The 49ers just looked awful. I think the only reason you win that game is, number one, because of your superstar running back, Christian McCaffrey, who literally carried your team, and your defense played good at the end. Their defense was really bad. Their defense was really bad.
I mean, they only gave up 21 points, and they intercepted Love a couple times, but yeah, they couldn't stop Green Bay.
I mean, they were in the red zone multiple times, and their red zone defense came up big. But also, I forget his name. Anders Carlson missed that game-tying field goal that possibly, obviously, would have changed the game, and that's when people really knew after he missed that kick that the 49ers are going to win. So
yeah, if Green Bay scores in the red zone all those times they got down there in the first half, they win that game easily. They could not score touchdowns, and it came back and bit them. But Jordan Love looked good this year.
Yeah, he looked good.
Surprising.
I didn't think he was going to be good. I thought he was going to be bad.
I did not either. I thought he was going to be a bust. But
hey, he proved a lot of people wrong again. I think it's a similar situation to Houston. If you're a Green Bay fan, I don't think you can be sad because you just lost. Sure, did you just lose Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, but Jordan Love looked pretty good.
Do you know who else has proven people wrong? Dan Campbell, baby.
He's not proving anyone wrong. Everyone wants the Lions to win.
But no one expects the Lions to win.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Are they now America's team?
No, we'll get to that. They are not America's team.
The Dan Campbells took care of business like the Philadelphia Eagles couldn't.
They beat the Eagles. Or no. Well, I guess they technically
beat Baker Mayfield.
Wow.
And the Bucks. And now they're going
to the NFC Championship.
NFC Championship for the Detroit Lions. Crazy. I think it might be their first time.
No.
Oh no, I think they got
1992.
Yeah, when Barry Sanders was there.
Yeah, I don't know. The Lions are good. It's as simple as that. The Lions are a good team. They're young too, so they should be really good for years to come. So, if I'm a Lions fan, I'm super happy. If I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm really mad because I hate the Dolphins because they suck. Anyway, Chiefs and Bills. Why?
Never leave it up to the kicker. Never leave it up to the kicker.
Tyler Bass misses the field goal.
No, I didn't miss.
Oh well,
that's called shankoponymous.
And I forget who was commentating that game, but I loved what he said. Wide right defines the Bills.
It does.
It defines the Bills, and I mean, the Bills.
Do you know who the original wide right kicker was?
I have no idea.
Scott Norwood.
I mean, it's just
Scott Norwood, wide right, Giants Super Bowl lost.
I think it's
4 in a row.
I think it's just unbelievable how there were so many weird calls in that game, like the fumble going back out of the end zone, which obviously it was a fumble. Chiefs fans, please shut up. Jason Kelce was the GOAT and took away from time from Taylor Swift, so thank you, Jason Kelce. But that game, honestly, it was a good one. Whenever these two teams play, it's going to be a good game. I think it's turning into a rivalry, if it wasn't already.
Dude, it already is. Josh Allen played out of his mind.
Honestly, you know who was the biggest loser in that game besides Tyler Bass? Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had multiple chances to come up big. Multiple chances.
He was awful all year.
To make big plays.
He was awful.
And he sucked. He was bad.
And
guess what?
Year.
Yeah, like you said, he was bad all year. And then watch, in the offseason, he's going to start complaining that he doesn't get the ball enough, that he doesn't have enough targets. But guess what? You're the most targeted person on your team. Do you have the most receptions? Yeah. Do you have the most touchdowns? I think so. Do you have the most yards? Sure. But for the amount of targets you get, are you putting up the numbers? No. I think Diggs is... I would be iffy about Diggs this next year.
I think the Bills are about done.
I think they're Super Bowl.
I think their window is closing quickly. This was it. This was their chance to beat Kansas City finally. They had it right in front of them.
And their kicker missed?
Never leave it up to the kicker. Bad decision making. All right, who's going to win this week?
All right, so Chiefs, Ravens. Let's talk about this one. So, let me give you a quick test. Who do you want to win this game? Because personally, I want the Ravens.
I don't really want either team, but I'm tired of Kansas City. I respect them. I like Patrick Mahomes. He whines a little too much for me. I like Andy Reid. Travis Kelce's turned into a douchebag. But I need them to lose. I'm tired of Kansas City and Taylor Swift and Patrick Mahomes. Need a new story.
Please, Ravens win.
I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win big.
All over the internet right now. Lamar Jackson is being called a new nickname. His nickname is Captain Lamerica.
Seriously.
Because nobody in their right mind wants Kansas City to
Is he
win
wearing a cape?
No, but he does have a shield.
He has a shield.
He has a shield.
No, is it the Baltimore Ravens logo on the shield?
I actually have no idea. I need to look back at that picture, but nobody wants Kansas City to win. Unless you're a Kansas City fan, unless you're Bengals fan, Browns fan, or Steelers fan. Nobody wants the Chiefs to win.
We need a new storyline.
We need a new storyline. Please, Ravens, for the sake of the NFL, please save the NFL. I know that sounds crazy. Save the NFL.
I think the Ravens defense is good. I think Lamar shows up. I think they win by touchdown.
Yeah, I think the Ravens win too. And now, Lions, 49ers. 49ers were iffy last year, or not last year, sorry. They were iffy last game. Their defense wasn't that great. Their offense was not that great either. The question is now, will the Lions be able to stop Christian McCaffrey? Will the Lions be able to do what the Packers did and start to, figure them out, stop Christian McCaffrey, stop Deebo Samuel, which, by the way, do you know the record with having Deebo Samuel?
No.
It's like 22-6.
Well, he's playing.
But without him, they're like 7 and 12, I'm pretty sure, something like that. I don't know. But Deebo Samuel's a big part of that team, and he is playing. So I don't know. The Lions are in for trouble, I believe. I would love to see the Lions win. I think they are the second America's team right now, but behind the Ravens. But please, Lions, win this. Win.
I'm gonna be rooting for the Dan Campbell.
Go to the Super Bowl.
49ers are too good. I think the Lions won't be able to stop San Francisco. I think Brock Purdy's gonna play better. I don't really know what that means in Brock Purdy's world, but he's going to play better. San Francisco wins. I think it's close, though.
Which,
I think it's close.
If you are correct, then the script is right. The logo theory stands. And I don't know if any of you have heard the logo.
I've never heard this till you told me earlier.
So the logo theory is if you look back at the past 3 years, well, I guess the past 2 years, because this year is still undecided. But if you look back at the past 2 years, you look back at the Rams versus Bengals Super Bowl. Their logo is orange and yellow. And the yellow was less than the orange and the Rams won. And then you look back at last year was green and red, obviously Chiefs and Eagles. The red was less than the green and the Chiefs won. This year it is red and purple, which would mean, obviously, Ravens, 49ers. And the red is less than the purple. So if the logo theory is right, then the 49ers should be Super Bowl champions.
So are you saying that this is scripted and they already know who's in it because they've made the logo with the colors? Or are you saying this is like just luck?
It could be the biggest coincidence of all time. But I don't know. Next year, if this happens, next year everybody will be waiting for the next Super Bowl logo to come out and go, wow.
I feel like I'm going to bet a lot of money on this because you claim this is right.
No,
I'm
going
to lose somehow.
They're doing this 3 times in a row. People finally caught on, and now the betting odds are going to be shot up for the next Super Bowl. So let's say it's teal and blue. Dark blue. So I don't know why I'm thinking this. Giants, Dolphins in the Super Bowl for some odd reason. That would never happen. But then the betting odds for Giants, Dolphins would probably shoot up, and then that wouldn't happen, and you would lose all your money. I think it's a scheme. But it could happen. I don't know.
You're just making things up.
I'm not making things
You
up.
read one thing on Instagram.
No, look up the...
Your bro sent you something.
No. Look up the Super Bowl logo theory, and it's everywhere.
Oh, fine. I'll look it up.
But
right.
We'll see you next week with the preview of the Super Bowl. Hopefully it's the Lions. I don't care about the Chiefs or the Ravens. Just give me the Lions. Dan Campbell, I'm praying for you.